What's up to Lion Talk Live? We love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew. This is Ball Hawk Ifata Malafanu of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
I love nothing more than watching Lions Talk Live every morning. Woo!
All right, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today. Lions Talk Live, Sunday show, morning show edition. And you know what? Hey, we've got a little bit of video for you guys today. Not a bunch of huge news overnight, as you guys would probably know and suspect. Lions more focused on packing up their bags, hopping on the plane, and flying on over to New York. Get ready for intra-squad practices, scrimmages, whatever you want to say, workouts with the New York Football Giants the next several days before leading into their preseason game next week with the Giants. So, hey, a lot of good work going to come out of this. You're going to see a lot of guys rise in stock value, drop in stock value, whatever it is. It's going to be the next step forward for the Detroit Lions. But before we get into that, and 5 headlines now, got a couple things to get through real quick. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We are about 90 subs away from going ahead and making it to 7,200. So if you can help out with that, that'd be great. Also, if you could take a real quick moment of time, it's free of charge. Takes you about a half second. Go ahead and hit that like button, the thumbs up button, whatever you call it button, because you know what? It helps the channel grow, helps the show get out to more and more new people. We try to get every episode between 200 to 300 or more thumbs up or likes. So if you could do that, it would be great. Lastly, outside of being a YouTuber, I am a realtor. So if you're looking for someone to help you buy or sell property anywhere in the great state of Michigan, give me a call or shoot me a text. You see my number on the screen, 269-998-2384. And see what we can do to save you some money, make the process easier, and you know what? Find you that perfect vacant land, commercial building for your business, whatever it is, new house for you. Go ahead and give me a call or shoot me a text. Let's have a conversation, see if we can help you on out. All right, welcome to Lions Talk Live. We're going to get this going early. Not sure if we're going to make a full hour today, but we'll see what we can do. Real quick, before we get into 5 headlines now, I'm sure most of you guys are aware of this, but if not, we talked about it briefly yesterday. Hey, Adam Scheffler, the man himself from ESPN, came out and addressed it with the LA Rams. They're in a bit of trouble when it comes to their offensive line. Both starting tackles and now one of the starting guards are out. The guard, former Detroit Lion Jonah Jackson, he might be out for, it appears, the entire preseason and potentially the first 2 weeks of the regular season. Could he be back in time for the game against the Detroit Lions? Absolutely. But he does have an issue with his shoulder. It's going to keep him sidelined for a significant amount of time in a portion of the year when you're trying to get cohesion between the offensive line, the offense in general. You got to imagine most of their starting offense or number ones, just like their starting defense, are not going to play in the preseason. So this could potentially really exacerbate the problem when they face the Detroit Lions. Could be a huge win for us on opening day. We'll have to wait and see. Both tackles, though, they have, I guess, bum ankles. If I had to bet, I'm guessing they're back opening week, but it also means they're going to miss a wee bit of repetitions, getting that time together, getting that continuity together. So wait and see how that impacts opening week. All right, but without further ado, let's go ahead and get into 5 headlines now. All right, as you would suspect, not a whole lot of new news and notes over from yesterday to today, just because there's a lot of off time for the players and everybody before they make the trip on over. But let's see what we got so far. Pair of quarterbacks changing how Ben Johnson is preparing the Detroit Lions offense. This is from the Detroit Free Press, Sean Windsor. Windsor, I know I mentioned this before with you guys with other articles of his. He's been around, man, I think he's been around since about the mid 80s, but don't hold me to it. So he's seen some pretty good players both play for Detroit and play against Detroit. He goes into a deep dive about Arnold and Davis, their impact on the defense, their impact on how the offense is having to mitigate things and change. So, I always hype up reporters or journalists who have been around for a while, know their worth, know what to do, have an eye for situations and talents. So you want a good read today about the progression of both of these guys and how they're changing the Detroit Lions offense, making it better. Go ahead and check out what Sean had to write about this. All right, some subtle signs point to why the Detroit Lions are legit Super Bowl contenders. This is by Detroit News and Jeff Seidel. So I think we're all aware at this point, unless you are just really the most casual Detroit Lions fan ever, this is a team in Detroit this year that has a whole lot of expectations. People are anticipating the Super Bowl. They're no longer saying, hey, can we just win a few games? Could we potentially, contend for the division? Could we maybe just win a game on Thanksgiving? That still has to come into play. But most Lions fans are going to say, hey, this team has a real shot at winning the Super Bowl and contending for it. And what we have here in this article, Jeff goes ahead and puts in a lot of detailed information. What's made Super Bowl contenders flourish in the past, in at least the last 10 years, I think is what he uses this time frame, and what this team has. You're starting to hear more and more national media attention. And not just people that only focus on the Lions, but guys that just focus on the NFL as a whole, saying Detroit Lions have some real opportunity to become the next New England Patriots. Could that really be where we're, a dynasty in the making? It's possible, but when you hear enough people talk about all the pieces are in place for Detroit to make that move, then you have to think there's probably something to it. Me, myself, and I only, do you have stability throughout the franchise right now? I'd say you'd have to check that, yes. Do you have young, still developing, and ascending talent on both sides of the ball? I think the answer would also be yes with that. Do you have a front office that can provide replacements for when guys age out or price out? I'd say at this point with Brad Holmes and in the scouting department, you'd have to agree that until it's proven otherwise, they have shown they can find talent at any spots in the draft or in free agency, bring it in, nurture it, develop it, and put something better on the field. So with all those things, I get what he's saying about the Lions becoming a Super Bowl contender. All right, not sure about this one, but we're going to go and report it because we're looking for 5 different headlines now. Lions/Cowboys trade to solve Detroit's backup quarterback problem. Fan side story by John Bueller. And I will say this. I don't see this one happening, but could Cooper Rush become a Detroit Lions backup? Yes. In this story, fan side by John Bueller, he says that basically you're trading Hendon Hooker to Dallas for Cooper Rush. Rush's contract is very team friendly, so I get that aspect of things. I'm not ready to give up on Hendon Hooker. I think it's a huge overreaction by anybody reporting on it right now, saying, hey, it's all doom and gloom with Hendon Hooker. The kid's had 2 weeks of training camp in his career right now. And like you're seeing with Jameson Williams, the thumbnail of today, among other players in their time here in Detroit, most guys don't let the league or set the league on fire the moment they enter the league. It does take time and seasons for them to develop, grow, and season into the players they're going to become and blossom. I think Hooker's going to be fine, but we'll have a pretty good idea about 2 weeks from now when he's gone from preseason game 1 to 2. If you haven't seen noticeable improvement throughout that time, then there might be a move on the Detroit Lions to at least buy Hooker some more time, bring in a veteran, or maybe they just really do believe in Nate Sutfield. But I don't see us trading for Cooper Rush. All right, Lions linebacker Alex Anzalone revealing big goals for team's 2024 defense. And this is from Athlon Sports. Nick Meyer. Hey, I think we all anticipate this season is going to be a better one for the Lions defense. You're hearing about all the improvement on the defensive line. Some of that's just through attrition, guys, getting from year 1 to 2 to 3 or whatever. So they're now comfortable in the NFL. They now have their man weight. They've refined different skill sets. Some of it's going to be Williams, the new defensive line coach, it's from all reports, he's having a very good impact on the pass rushing or just the defensive line as a whole. So could it be Anzalone's right that this is going to be a really strong season for the defense, a number one ranked defense this year? I still got to put the pause button myself on the number one ranking thing. I get it's a goal for any NFL defense to be the top defense in the league. I'd say if we can make it into the top 10 or right around there, we've probably achieved our goals this year. All right, last of the 5 headlines now before we get into the main topic of the day. Next stop, Lions to embark on joint practices with Giants and Detroit Free Press. Multiple reporters just taking you through the time frame of stuff. What's up next? What's going to do? Basically all the details of the week. So if you want to find out what's going to happen on each day, what they have scheduled, some of the different lineups or whatever, go ahead and check that out. The Freep did a pretty good job with it. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and get on over to the main topic of the day. All right, so part of this, as we all know, we've talked about for eons, it seems like everybody and their mother is out there reporting on the Detroit Lions. You've got people like Tom Pelissero, who we're about ready to hear from, who's attended Lions training camp, coming on and giving their thoughts. And these are people that, to me, there's someone like when you hear me go through 5 headlines now, when Sean Windsor writes a story, I put a lot more credence on it because he's been around forever. He's seen the good and the bad with this franchise. He's got trained eyes to say, hey, this is a good player. This is not a good player. Tom Pelissero, as I think we've mentioned before on the show, I've got a lot of respect for because he's come up through the ranks of the NFL as a team scout, and he's moved into front offices. Now he's obviously makes his living being a media personality, but he's had to go through the grind of flying all over the world, basically, watching guys go through games, watching them go through practices, going through scouting combines. He's developed an eye over time of what it takes for the average guy to become a good or bad player or an average player in the NFL. So when he makes comments, to me, all of us should pay more attention to it because he's probably got a pretty good eye for it. So real quick, let's go ahead and dive into that as we're talking about him. Let's dive into a little bit of a video clip with him talking about it. Let me pull it up here, pull up the shared screen. All right, we're going to do this just for about a minute and a half. Don't want to get YouTube yelling or screaming at me about using somebody else's work for too long. So get about a minute and a half of this, see what he has to say.
I will ask you the same question about the Lions as I did about the Chiefs camp. What did you glean from that when you were there?
They weren't in pads yet. And so, but just talking to people around there, I would say the primary takeaways are they really think Jameson Williams is in for a monster year.
Okay.
He's in a much better spot. Remember the first year he's got coming off the ACL. He wasn't himself. Last year he had the suspension. There were times like you saw Jameson Williams do cool stuff, but it was almost like, let's just find ways to integrate him and try to get him a few touches every game. They're expected to be the Jameson Williams.
So it's as if they drafted a top 10 wide receiver.
That's what it looks like. I mean,
Right.
The guy was the best receiver in the draft. He only went where he did because of the knee injury. So this is the first year that they think they're really going to see Jameson Williams. I would anticipate the backfield is going to be very similar. It's going to be Montgomery and Gibbs kind of rolling with both of them again.
And here I am sitting from my chair in El Segundo, California, telling a
All right, so that's it with Tom Pelissero. And again, I don't want to overly play the bits. As you guys know, as I'm trying to incorporate more video into the show, you live and you learn. So I know if I go too long with a topic or a video from someone else, that's probably a no-fly zone. So as you do hear him talk about, there's everybody talking about Jameson Williams. You're talking about his maturity, his route running, his mechanics, his timing with Goff. I really think there's a lot to it. And I'm sure that, it'll be interesting to see what the Duke crew, everybody this morning has to say about it. But here's my impression. When you have someone like that on the offensive side of things, it changes everybody else's offensive assignments as well. Because the routes you're going to give that receiver and how that impacts everybody else. I'd look at it this way. How good would St. Brown be if he didn't have a Laporta or a Josh Reynolds or a Gibbs, Montgomery out of the running game? It'd probably be vastly different. In fact, we might not even think of St. Brown in the same light that we do now because the defense could shy so much more attention to him to help remove him from the Detroit Lions offense. But as he's emerged, he's also helped Sam Laporta emerge. Laporta last year helped St. Brown have a good year. I think we all get it, the symbiotic relationship between all the players. As a quarterback, if you don't have an offensive line and running game, how great of a quarterback are you really going to be? So you get it with that. But the fact that you hear Tom Pelissero talk about how strong he's going to be, like he's going to be a rookie impact wide receiver right now, who is going to be the number 12 pick overall. And you do remember the fact that Jameson Williams in that particular draft was often thought about as potentially being the best wide receiver in that draft, but went down because of the ACL injury. And everybody knew if you draft him this year, you're not using him this year. Really, last year became his rookie year in a sense. And even that was kind of scuttled a little bit because of the suspension. He didn't have training camp. This is really his first training camp and opportunity to go through things. Now you add in a little bit of growth and maturity as he's just simply gotten more evolved as a human being by being a little bit older, having gone through some of those learning curves. All right, we're going to get into one other little bit of video. This is going to be from ESPN, so let's bring that up real quick, and then we'll get over to the Duke Crew comments. So one moment, please. Let me get this going, and yeah, we'll see what they have to say.
The additions, I think the biggest addition is going to be a full offseason healthy Jameson Williams. I'm nitpicking for the Detroit Lions here. If I had to find one thing that I guess was a flaw of their offense last year was it didn't have vertical speed. And Ben Johnson, who's their offensive coordinator, who they're lucky to keep, one of the things that stands out about his offense is it looks a lot like Kyle Shanahan's. When Kyle, Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur.
Today, not tomorrow, not next week. Today is the day. I hope you will donate.
Sorry about this, guys. Hey, there we go.
When they have someone who can go down the field, it takes the offense to a different level. You know, because the defense can't shrink as much anymore, and then the play action's even bigger. And so you can either throw the ball downfield or get some of those really big chunks in the play action game. So if Jameson could stay healthy and kind of be what they envisioned him to be 2 years ago when they drafted him in the first round with his speed, man, it just changes so much of the explosive element and the chunk offense that they can get in their play action game.
Yeah, to your point, they become 3-level. Great running game, Amon-Ra and Laporta work in the middle of the field. It felt right.
Like this, you put a little.
All right. We think it. And again, I just don't want to risk playing too much video. So, all right, I think they're all correct in that Jameson's emergence could change this offense exponentially. And the fact that there's no aspect of the depth chart as far as when you're going down the field that you could overly cheat or negate when it comes to defending. So I get they say 3 levels. So the running game, obviously it's there for the Detroit Lions. The middle game or the mid-tier game, so the shorter intermediate routes, those are all going to be there with Laporta, St. Brown, or anybody coming out of the backfield. Now you add in Jameson Williams, who can take your intermediate routes and deep routes out there, along with, I know we've talked about it before, but I think you add Khalif Raymond into that mix as too because of his speed. Yes, he's smaller, he's a little undersized, but you know what? You still got to guard long with him because if you don't, he's gone, and you have to have speed out there. So if you have potentially 2 dudes like Raymond and J-Mo on the field who can take you deep, man, that puts so much more pressure. I don't think you can play single high safety on the Lions, and not unless you have just some real strong corners that are going to be locked up against him and Khalif Raymond one-on-one. And not that other people can't take you deep. Those are just going to be your primary reads or options, I would think. Maybe the Lions, I don't know, maybe Green can fall into that mix. I don't know if he has Wow speed, but he's got pretty dang good speed. So I think the Lions offense this year, Jameson Williams, is going to help emerge it into another spot in the level where it's going to be harder. Remember last year, if you watched the show back then, when we played the Chicago Bears the first time, and then 4 days later on Thanksgiving, the Green Bay Packers, both teams played a very man on the outside, single high safety with 2 linebackers roaming the middle of the field just to try to clog up a lot of those shorter pass patterns that St. Brown and Laporta like to run. The Lions did address it and adapt to it in a couple weeks. I would have liked it a little bit faster, but with Jameson Williams out there and Khalif Raymond or whoever else you can put out there, I think it's going to be a whole lot harder to get away with that because if you're having 3 or 4 people basically bottle up the middle of the field, man, you just don't offer any help on the outside sidelines, deep post patterns, fly patterns, streak patterns, etc. on the sidelines. So, all right, you guys heard me talk about this. Let's go over to see what you guys have to think. Is Jameson Williams going to make that big an impact on this offense this year, this team this year? I know there's even been speculation about people saying this guy should play special teams. I'm not ready to go there. I just want to limit the amount of hits he gets on him. let him get his feet under him, have a breakout season before we start thinking about, hey, let's have him return kickoffs or punts. So, all right, Duke Crew, what say you? Let's see now. All right, JDC, you got to kick us off. Good morning, all. Good morning to you, too. Stephanie, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. Working today, so I'm going to listen in while driving around. I hope everyone has a great day. And woo! Then the first woo of the show. I tell you what, let's make it a Sheila Hamp woo just for you. She does a great job with that. Gonna have to get her on the show sometime. All right, Lions fan number one, greetings, salutations, everyone. Coach Dan, what are your thoughts on the whole J-Mo talk? Question mark. It sounds like everyone is on board with him, but is he going to make that big of a leap? I think he is. And I think other teams, showed you what they thought about him last year. We talked about it in the playoffs. You saw most of the time he was on the field. I'll say 70% of the time, people were putting two guys on him because they could see his emergence, see the trouble he could provide, especially in the passing game with those speed and wheels. So, I think he's going to make a big impact. Jess, good morning, y'all. If we can luck out and Williams really does deliver this big breakout season, then our offense is going to be crazy hard to limit or stop. Yeah, because all the rules already favor the offense. We all get that. But now, who are you gonna double team? St. Brown, all right. You're gonna leave Laporta, Jameson Williams, Khalif Raymond, Gibbs, Montgomery all on single coverage. If you play zone, you better be able to get the pressure on Goff because we all get it. You can say whatever you want about Goff, but play action pass, and if you give this dude time, he's going to find people. He's also getting that into that prime time age of quarterbacks. And you heard Kurt Steele and other people talk about that very point this past week on the show. He's at the point now where there's going to be very, very few defensive coverages he hasn't seen multiple times before. He's no longer a 22, 23-year-old kid. He's now a veteran, and a veteran who's had tons of time in the league. A third of his lifespan has been in the NFL. Let that sink in. And he's going to be able to identify things pre-snap and put his players in a pretty good position to succeed. All right, Dennis, good morning. Dan and the best crew on YouTube, the Duke Crew. Woo! And good morning to you too, Dennis. Glad to see you didn't sleep in today. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. J-Mo is Waymo. I like that, Bo. I see Super Bowl. Woo! And good morning to you. And yes, J-Mo may be J-Wow this year. Okay, let's see. Quentin Green, salutations. Y'all, man, oh man, Coach D, I can't be waiting until Thursday. How much work do you think the starters get? I would say this, Quentin, 0. I don't think they're going to have them out there at all. At least that's my guess. I don't see any situation where they let Goff get on the field. If they did, it would be 1 or 2 drives at best. And I really think that's kind of the odd thing about MCDC. You all get it when we finished the regular season last year against Minnesota. He played all the starters. We all get it, and he took some heat for it. But yet in the preseason games, he does tend to seem to hold back guys a little bit just to keep them fresh, all that stuff. If it's me, man, I probably don't have a lot of them out there, or at least incredibly little. So we'll go with that, and we'll have to wait until Thursday to see. Let's see, Quentin, good morning. All St. Brown, Laporta could be big winners from J-Mo having a big year. Yes, I would agree. They all should have a very symbiotic relationship. The more you focus on limiting one, the more you open up the others. So, yes, they're very much – we've had a just rare situation here where you think about it. If J-Mo really is the guy this year, you could have potentially, I should say, 2 number 1 wide receivers on the Detroit Lions. And I know that's a big boast. We all get St. Brown is a number 1. Could Jameson really this year emerge into being, how about this, just a real legit number 2 wide receiver at the NFL level? If he can do that, that changes the offense. Sam Laporta, we don't have to talk about him a lot. He's one of the all-time best already, at least based on a single season, but he's incredibly talented. Now you add in the running backs, and you know what? Yeah, there's not a whole lot to dislike about the Detroit Lions offense. See, Wayne, this feels like 8 Tigers and 80s, 90s Pistons, Red Wings. I feel like a championship team. This is my 54th diehard Lions fan season. Oh, yeah, this Kool-Aid won't expire. No, embrace it all because, hey, man, if you've been a Lions fan for a while, especially as long as Wayne has, you know there's been some real down times. Embrace these good times. But I think we're all going to see the Lions get into the playoffs, have a very good postseason, get to the Super Bowl. And you know what? This would be 3 straight solid seasons for the franchise. To a lot of franchises, that's not much, but for a Lions fan, that's a ton, man. That's a lifetime. See, Bo, ready or not, here we come. 100% with that. Wayne, 84 Tigers, not 8. All right, we'll go with that. And yes, the 84 Tigers were pretty special. Clark, what's up, Wild and Crazies? Question mark. Could be the first time we make the playoffs in back-to-back seasons since the mid-90s. We have not been great over the years. Talk about a cue there. No, we have not, but you know what? I try to live in the moment, learn from the past. I'll say this. Here's what I can tell you. You know, DVR, record, whatever you do to record these games nowadays, go ahead and do that because you're going to want to replay these games. You're going to want to relive the moments. I really think it's going to be a very good special season for us. See, Moonscar, good morning, Dan, the Duke crew, exclamation point. Can't wait to see the improvement from this young man. But what I want to see is when it's 3rd and 9, 3rd and 12, and he makes the tough catch for the first down. Yeah, you want to see that growth. You want to be able to see he can make the contested catches, not the uncontested catches. You want to see him just fully evolve and improve. And there's going to be moments, I have no doubt, where he's going to drop a pass or do something wrong. And there's going to be a percentage of Lions fans going to say, see, he's a bust. It's just how we're wired from so many different decades of disappointment. Instead of seeing all the good he's doing and the upward improvement, the trend is your friend. There's going to be people that will jump on him anytime he makes a mistake. Buddy, good morning, Duke crew. Back at you, buddy. Hopefully I'm having a great one. AJ, good morning, all. Woo! And back at you, AJ. Miles Barker, greetings, salutations, coach and crew. Trying to picture J-Mo's first play this season. When will he just show up on the field? Will he actually be given the ball? I'm sure at some point he'll be given the ball, no doubt about it. Will it be the first play of the season? Who knows, man? My guess is the first play of the season is going to be a running play, but you never know. Maybe Ben Johnson says, skip this. It's the first play of the season. We're going to run play action pass, flea flicker, 90, how about 87-yard touchdown to Jameson Williams down the deep sideline. Now, wouldn't that be a great way to start the season? All right, Eddie, what do you got? Greetings, salutations. So if St. Brown, Williams, and everyone else have big years, my question for you, coach, is this. Just how big of a year will Goff put together? That's a fair question, man. That's a real fair question because let's just say St. Brown and Laporta have the same seasons they had last year. Now you add in maybe another 1,000-yard season with Jameson Williams or right around there. I'm going to go with him having 1,000+ yards. And could it be that you get 1,000-ish yards from Montgomery, from Gibbs? How special would this offense be if you have 3 receivers, and I'm putting Laporta in as a receiver in that sense with 1,000-yard seasons, and then 2 running backs with 1,000-yard seasons? 5 players with 1,000+. That means I'm probably guessing, in that scenario, I'm guessing Goff's probably got around a 5,000-yard passing season. So, 30 to 40 touchdowns. We'll say, I don't know, man, 8 to 15 picks, somewhere in that range. But that would be an MVP season, I would think. See, Bo, 800+ yards receiving, 380 yards rushing. That would be good for J-Mo. Yes, 1,000+ overall yards. I'd go with that. France, good evening, everyone. Ending the day with a little Lions Talk Live in the Duke Crew. Anyone else read about the Rams O-line issues? Yes, I have read about it. I don't know if you saw where I first talked about it. I'm assuming based on the timestamp. But yeah, the Rams got some issues. We'll have to see if it's an issue a month from now, though, because really, we've got a month and 4 days until we play them. So, wait and see how that impacts things in time. See, buddy, J-Mo has put hard work in this offseason, and he's also matured a lot. Agreed. Yeah, and like we've talked about on the show, not everybody comes in the league, an adult. Some of them are still kids and take time to grow, mature, and I think he's done both, as well as getting better as a wide receiver. Both Rams are first to fall. I'll go with that, and I agree. They got to be the first team to go down. See, Moonscar, hello, France. Would this be your Sunday into Monday evening? I think it's like afternoon there, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't really know the time difference in my head. So, that I don't know. Trey, what's good, y'all? Question mark. I'm thinking Jameson will be so good this year, he will take the whole offense to a gear we've not seen before. Like I was just talking about a moment or two, Trey, if he really has 1,000+ yards, and so does everybody else, I think you're spot on. I think, man, this would be the closest thing to like the 2001 St. Louis Rams, I guess back then, with Kurt Warner and all of them. Just really incredibly difficult to defend because they can expose you everywhere on the field. And Gibbs is very much like a Marshall Faulk type running back. Buddy, learning route running and also how to catch the ball better. Yeah, he's improved in every aspect of the game. France, yep, Sunday afternoon, evening. Okay, I was close. Yeah, I knew it was around that time. I'd see Moonscar, Trey Tippin, right on, 100%. See Miles Marker, please like, share, copy. You don't have to send it, but it still counts good for the channel. Yes, if you guys can, subscribe, like, share, copy, or hit the thumbs up button. All that stuff helps the channel out exponentially. Bo, it'll be interesting to see what the other DCs do about covering him. You know, last year, like I said earlier in the show, you saw more and more teams double team him. Somebody underneath, somebody over the top. Just because I think most agree he is freakishly fast. I mean, there might be one or two, maybe at the most 3 guys in the league with his speed. So you're asking somebody to cover him if you're going to play man-to-man, and they just don't have the speed. So if you can't get to Goff, that speed starts showing up more and more the longer the play goes on. I know there were a lot of teams, I want to say it was the 49ers, that consistently, if you rewatch that game, they put somebody over the top to help out those corners. Even when they were in zone coverage, they were cheating a safety over towards Jameson anytime he was near the sidelines because they understood that if they didn't, he was going to bust that zone deep, and they had to do everything they could to mitigate that. Darcy, greetings and salutations all back at you. Buddy, please, I know he has a chip on his shoulder of critics calling him a bust. Yeah, plus, I know he has a chip on his shoulder from everybody calling him a bust. Man, I think, buddy, you just summarized the majority of the Lions team. They all seem to have chips on their shoulder for some reason or another, and that seems to help fuel them pushing forward. Huskar, old football gods, you gave us your son, Amon-Ra! Exclamation point. Please bless us with good fortune throughout the season and guide us to the Superdome. Amen. Agreed. Yes, go to the church of whoever you pray to and pray for the Detroit Lions to get to that championship game, the Super Bowl themselves in the Superdome. See, Steve Rogers, Captain America, good morning, Duke Crew! Exclamation point. The captain is reporting. Good to see you, Steve. Hopefully you have a great one. Bo, amen. Exclamation point. Chips off the old grit. There we go, and we'll go with that. So Simone, this season is about to be special. I think so. I mean, I know some of you guys have predicted them to win, 14, 15 regular season games, but I think there's some potential they can get between 12 and 15. You got to have luck sometimes. You got to have the ball bounce your way. You got to have a lot of things go for you. But is that possibility there? And I think most people, even if you're not a Lions fan, would say at the very least, the possibility of them winning a 12 to 15 win season is incredibly there. Michael D, great salutations, Coach and Duke Crew. Superdome or bust, one pride. Woo, woo. And good morning to you and just for you. Never gets old, man. I'd say Bo, Gibbs and St. Brown mentoring him on receiving. That has to be something special. Yeah, the fact that everybody's coming together and work, well, they all know they need each other to get to where they want to go. And this is very much a team mentality, a family mentality. I remember last year when I was reporting on, Bugs getting basically in the doghouse here and then eventually cut. I think a lot of it was because he no longer really fit into that mantra, that mentality. He wanted, I think, a little bit better spotlight for him in Detroit, a little bit better starting snap count, and that just wasn't going to be with this coaching staff. He had to earn it, and, hey, they moved on because of it. So they're very focused on that mentality here. Hookadook, good morning, Dan, the Duke Crew. Woo! Amen, Moonscar. Roar, go Lions, 100%. Good to see you, Hooks. See, buddy, on any play, he could take it down or take it to the end zone with that speed. Yeah, agreed. And that's why I think you've got to keep eyes on him, multiple defenders on him the vast majority of the time. Because if Goff recognizes he's got single coverage, and if him and JMO communicate pre-snap, or JMO makes the read in the route tree for him, where he says, "Hey, I can beat this guy, I take him," then you risk the opportunity for a house call or a touchdown, like you're pointing out there, buddy. So yeah, he's going to draw a lot of eyes because of it. See, Robert Graves' salutations back at you. Bo, let's just call him House Call. All right, I'll go with that. We could just call him House, the doctor, Dr. House. See, Lions Fanatic, Burger Time, good morning to see you. Burger Time, good to see you as always. Morning, Hookadoo. Dennis, Lions Player of the Day, Robert Green. There you go, the color of the money. Him, Willie Green. Man, we've had a few different greens over the year. See, Matthew, what do you got? Greens, salutations. Good morning, everyone. Superdome, Super Bowl. Woo, woo, woo. And you know what? Just for you, I'll go with that. So, all right, let's see. Back to the top here, Hookadoo. Good morning, Bergs. I was wondering if that was you. It is, yes. He's upgraded his name a little bit. See, Lions Fanatic, Burger Time. Good morning, Dan and the Duke crew. Another Sunday closer to the season. Woo! And agreed with that. And, man, we are less than, 5 days away? Or right around 5 days away from kickoff preseason games. See, Rocky, good morning, all. And Jameson will silence the doubters. I think he will. I think he's going to put together a real good season. Burger Time, yep, it's me. Agreed. See, Jason, it is crazy to think we will have this incredible talent on our receiving corps. Superdome or bust. I agree, Jason. I mean, they've done a real good job putting this together. I get because when you drafted him injured, you had to wait a little bit on Jameson Williams to get here. But you could also counter that by saying that's why you're able to draft him in the first place, because he was injured. If he would not have been injured, how realistic is it to think that he would have gone number 5, 8, 9, something like that before the Lions could have gotten to him? See, Lions, Burger Time, good morning, Matt. Matthew, good morning, Burger Time. Thomas, all we need is to stay healthy and no one can touch us. Greetings, salutations, everyone. I agree with that, Taylor. That's going to be a huge thing. That medical staff, hey, they're worth every penny we pay them. See, John, good morning, all. Back at you, John. Hookadoo, Bo, that would be Dr. House Call. There we go. I like that. Dr. House Call. John, Thunder and Lighting, as always. Burger Time, anyone going to the Lions-Tampa game? I'm coming to Detroit that Saturday. Want to get something together for the game. Weather will be nice. Let's hope the weather is nice. Yeah, that should be. Yes, Bo, I already saw your comment. It should be the tailgate for the Duke crew. So plan on that. We should have a lot of people there, at least hope. So let me know if you're going in the comment section. JDC, Hookadoo, Blue Bash Brothers. I'll go with that. See, Burger Time, I will be at the game Thursday cheering on the boys, ! Even though most won't play. Yeah, I'm hoping they keep most of them on the sideline throughout the preseason. Let the guys battling for the number 3 spots or 2 spots even get the times, get the reps, get the opportunities. 9 Drinks, greetings, salutations, Duke crew. Back at you, 9 Drinks. Always good to see a Lions chat legend in there. See, Moonscar, 30 for 62 on the likes, peeps. Yes, on my screen, I can't see it. I can say we've got a little over 500 people watching this morning. See, buddy, let's see. Coach, is that Jen doing a Sheila? Woo! No, that's actually Sheila. So here, I'll even play it for you guys real quick just so you can rewatch it. This is actually Sheila Ford. It is her right after the Lions won against Minnesota Vikings to win the NFC North. Yeah, that's actually her wooing, laughing, the whole shebang-a-bang. So, all right, back to the comment section. Let's see, Anthony, what up? What's up? Go Lions, 100%. Good to see you, Anthony. Burger Time, get them up, 100%. Yes, if you guys can, hit the subscribe and like button. See, John, I absolutely love this crew, 100%, man. We got a good crew here, a good group of people. Hey, I enjoy waking up and getting into the crew every morning, talking about the topic of the day. See, Paper Bags fan, green salutations, Duke crew. Have a great day, everyone. Super Bowl, no bust. I'll go with that, Paper Bag, and hopefully you have a great day as well. JDC, John, yes, yep, 100%, and thumbs up. John, thanks, JDC. John, grind line, I'll go with that. Michael, prayer for 0 Lions injuries before the regular season starts. Yeah, hopefully no more. I get Badgley's out, and hey, with some of Bates' struggles, that might end up being bigger than most of us would have anticipated at the time. Kaminsky's going to be out for a little while. We get that. That's probably a more survivable one because he was practicing with just the third unit. And there's been a couple other knickknacks here and there. But yes, agreed. Keep everybody happy. Keep everybody healthy. See, JDC, Stormfront, Hookadoo, Lightning Strikes. Bergs, Miles, Super Bowl, ! One pride worldwide. I'll agree with that. Willard, the quarterback situation is scaring me. I have no faith in Subfield and the hooker. I'm praying to Papa Jesus that Goff stays healthy. Yeah, and I think Hooker is going to be fine It's just he needs time to grow and develop. Now, do you want him to do that in the preseason, the regular season? Hopefully he does it mostly during the preseason. Sudfield, hey, he's the wild card. You hear lots of good things about him in training camp. You also heard that last year. So I guess hopefully we never have to find out how either one of them do in a regular season meaningful game. See, John, JDC, a storm front is president and imminent. There we go. I can't talk. Predicted and imminent. Man, I can't talk. All right, Dennis, our secondary is going to be nasty with the D line, laughing out loud. Sack, INT, repeat. Yes, if we could do that every drive, I'd like our chances to win most games. Dennis, woo! I'll go with that. Lions Fanatic Bird Time. Let's get that first one before we talk Dynasty. But I'm on board for it. Let's go. Unfinished business. Woo! And yes, Bergs, I think you're spot on. Get one at a time. Once you get that first Super Bowl, now get greedy and go for number 2, 3, 4, etc. Johnny, good morning to Lions Talk Live. Detroit Lions are Super Bowl contenders! Exclamation point. I like the sound of that. Yes, we are. Now, you got to go from contender to champion. All right, Bo, I can feel it coming up from the center of the universe. All right, we'll go with that. We'll take that. See, Anthony, good morning, Dew Crew. Back at you, Anthony. Thanks for all you do for the channel. Hooks, strikes, all right? Burger Time, good morning, Anthony. Anthony, not here for long. Work. Hey, man, yeah, I understand. You got to get that paycheck. See, Hookadoo, hey, Anthony, nice having you in today, 100%. Yeah, I get you. You don't get a lot of time off, so I get it, man. Enjoy it while you got it. JDC, Magic 8 Ball says, Lions Super Bowl, question mark. Hex, yes, I'll go with that. Yes, sir. See, Burger Time, woo! Oh, yeah, a little Macho Man. You know what? Hey, we haven't done this in a while, so why don't we throw the Macho Man in there? All right, and yeah, I got to remember to move that thing up so it's easier to see, but there you go, little Macho Man. Oh, yeah, one more time. There we go. All right, now I got to take it off the screen. All right, now enough of that. Back onto the show. All right, Bo, wins matter first, rankings come second, best points scored. I'll go with that. Yeah, good order right there. John, thumbs up for the coach, thumbs up for the Dew Crew and the show. We'll go with that. See, Burger Time, Dew Crew, let's grow the channel. Tell other Lions fans about the channel. Let's shoot for 10K by Thanksgiving. Dan deserves the support. Hey, I'll take it. Whatever you guys want to do, just help the channel grow. We all have a pretty good time here, so help enjoy and embrace. See, Bo, thumbs up, done. Burger Time, thumbs up. Hookadoo, done, thumbs up. John, I agree, 100% Lions fanatic. There we go. Anthony, he's absolutely 100% does. Thanks, man. I do it. I just enjoy being a Lions fan like you guys. And hey, having this every morning keeps everybody up to date, on top of things. Have a good conversation about the team too. So it's fun, man. Dennis, done. Johnny V, I'm on board with JMO Hype Train, but I'm excited about running the ball right, left, and center. That's where it all begins. Woo! And I think you're right, Johnny. I think if teams understand they've got to stop the Lions' ground game, and the more they have to focus on stopping it, the more it opens up the passing game. What's gone to excel at, perhaps the best even in the NFL? Play action pass. That seems to work out well for us. I'd say both bash and slash, lightning in the backfield. I'll go with that. Dwayne, weird how everyone was calling him a bust without letting him develop. Hey, man, Dwayne, you couldn't be more right if you tried, man. It's just the nature of things. We talk about a lot where a guy's drafted, and I get it when you're a first rounder or a second rounder. The expectations are just through the roof. This guy needs to have a cape, a nest on his chest, fly around, and solve, every problem in the world. But it's just not realistic. What we saw last year out of Branch, out of Gibbs, out of Laporta, that's rare stuff, man. Most guys do take time. Look even at Calvin Johnson. He's got to be the standard for wide receivers in Detroit. And if he's not the standard, he's on like the Mount Rushmore of wide receivers for the Detroit Lions. I can remember reporting on Herman Moore's rookie season. It took him a while to get going. And you look at his rookie season numbers, they were okay. And same with Calvin Johnson's. They were all right. They weren't off the charts great. Last year was really Jameson's rookie year. And if you put his numbers up against them, they're not horribly different. So that's where I think you're spot on, Dwayne, that give them time. This is the year where we really should see a jump forward with Jameson Williams. And if everything coming out of training camp, whether you're a Detroit Lions reporter, just an NFL reporter like Tom Pelissero, then you have to believe that there's something to it, that this guy really is doing some good work out there. See, Brent, good morning, everyone. Lombardi or bust? Oh, yeah. And I'll go with that. Good morning to you, too. Bergs, have a great show today. Hope everyone has a great week. Talk to everyone Saturday. Let's go, Lions. Woo! Well, Bergs, have a great day. And whatever you got to do today, go enjoy it. John, all the other teams will be thunderstruck. I see what you did there. Miles Marker, Bo Booth. Every year I yell at the TV, points, win games. Dang it, 100%. Yes, go get those points. Bo, entwined in finding Lombardi, ever dreaming. We'll go with that. Dreaming of the Super Bowl. JDC, John Lettner, thumbs up. John, ha ha ha. Kurt Steele, the man himself. You go get the YouTube Premium to skip ads, bro. There you go. I got to get it to skip ads. Maybe I'll work on that. Maybe I'll work on that, man. Let's see. Johnny, looks like our beloved Lions are the scuttlebutt of the NFL. Let's do this. 100%. Yeah. Hey, I think you're seeing more and more franchises want to be like Detroit, and let that sink in. How much that means we've improved. So, Moonscar, he's French. There we go. Laporte, there we go. Yes, he is, man. Let's see. Patrick, exclamation point. I was watching a Lions video and it switched for a moment into a that's a different type of video. All right, Moons. Let's see, Kurt, you got to get YouTube Premium to skip ads, bro. I'm on it, man. I'm on it. Let's see, Devin, what do you got? FBG, skip Green Bay. Who do you think is going to have the worst record this year as far as in the NFL? Man, that's tough to call. I'm not sure, Devin. I'd have to really think on that. As far as the division, I'm gonna go with the Minnesota Vikings. I think they have a lot of work to do. They've got a decent team, but compared to the rest of the guys or teams in the division, yeah, I think they're still towards the bottom. See, Patrick, fortunately, it switched back 100%. 100%. Bo, I don't have word salads in the morning. There we go. Okay, when I got my Laporta jersey, it didn't say Laporte. There we go. Yes, it did not. JDC, Bo, hippie salad is better. They're okay. Dwayne, there was some team doubling Jamo's. There were some teams doubling him last year. They had to, man, because he was emerging last year. He started off at the beginning of the year. Middle of the year, though, you could see that the progression, that development. And yes, by the time we got to the playoffs, there was a whole lot of it. Nevin, I hope so. Me too, man. Let's see. Bo, JDC, going to have keep on smoking. There we go. Phil, good morning. Good morning to you, too, Phil. Good to see you, as always. Don, stop giving up on kids so fast, Lions fans. Exclamation point. Levi, JMO will be examples of the future. Yeah, and they're not the only ones, because I know we talk about a lot. You look at Iffy, you look at Derek Barnes, and there's tons of other guys on this team. Heck, people gave up on Jared Goff. They're probably not giving up on him anymore. So, yeah, some guys just take time. And not that Goff struggled early in his career. Not that he was great all the time. But he was in the MVP conversation before he came out here. So maybe that was just a bad coaching call or front office call getting rid of him. But whatever it is, it worked out for them. It worked out for us. Everybody's happy. See, Kurt, what up, though, Duke Crew? What up to you, too? Bo, Sheila's woo and laugh. Yes, it is a little, hey, it's hers. Motown Green Salutations, Coach Duke Crew. Lions rule, Bears rule. I'll go with that. And good morning to you too, Mitch. See, Johnny V, I like that, Bo. Waymo Jamo, there you go. Dennis, didn't Deshaun Watson get traded to the Giants? Not that I know of, but maybe I missed it. Yeah, I'll have to check on that, I guess, when the show's over. See, Dwayne, I agree, Don Burt. Everyone is a bust until they make a Pro Bowl year one. I think that's a good summary right there. See, Hookadoo, good morning, Kurt. Good morning. See, John, I would like to hear the Ford Field fans chanting Sheila. They probably should at some point, because where did the change in this franchise begin? With Sheila Ford or Sheila Hamp. Let's see, Silver Server, good morning, Coach, and everyone else. Back at you, Silver. Let's see, Dennis, what up, though, Kurt? Good morning. Derek, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Do you think we will pick up another wide receiver after the cuts? I guess it depends on if you think... Well, who gets cut, I guess. I think that's what it's going to come down to. Can you look at him and say, yeah, that guy is clearly an upgrade over this guy? I know MCDC has come out and said he hasn't been the most thrilled with Donovan Peoples-Jones. Just not enough consistency there. Does that mean they're going to move on from him? I have no idea, man. We'll see what the next month does for a lot of those guys. But let's face it, was it cuts on the 27th? You got 23 more days until then. A lot of guys on that bubble trying to make it. Probably, I would say the top 25 are pretty etched in stone. The next wave of players, that's where you probably have a lot of guys scrambling. All right, Detroit Sports Talk. Hi, Coach. Hi to you. Hopefully having a good one. Let's see. Dan Campbell already said no starters will play preseason, basically. Yeah, and that's where I'm thinking. Keep them all on the sidelines. Keep them safe. Keep them healthy. I think the preseason has gone more towards developing younger guys, depth chart guys, the Manus of the world or whatever. So that's where I'm okay with it because you know what? It keeps everybody safe, keeps them all healthy. But you also give someone like Hendon Hooker or whoever else you want to throw out there a ton of opportunities to go out and shine and learn. Let's see, love it, 100%. You have to. See, Bo, just say no starters in the preseason. I think some teams are going that way. I get some teams are not. They're still playing guys. I'm not saying there's a right or wrong way to do it. I know what I would do. Johnny Touchdown, Motown, Hitsville, USA. I'll go with that. JDC, Dan Miller, and Lomas Brown, Rocks. I agree with that. I like them both. Dennis, I'm up. There you go. Matthew, if JMO opens it up, then St. Brown might be buying Gibbs a house. There you go. That would be nice of him, and he's probably got enough cash to make that happen. See, John, yes, they do. JDC, Gunny, what do you got? Howdy, Dan and Duke Crew. Woo! Good to see you, Mike. Hopefully having a great one. See, Don, that's a good name for the defense. Hitsville. There we go. Hitsticksville. There we go. The Madden term there. Detroit Sports Talk, build the perfect Lions wide receiver of all time, and no St. Brown. All right. Man, you've had some real good ones come through here over the years. Probably a lot of you won't remember Robert Clark, but him, Robert Johnson, Johnny Morton, Perryman, Herman Moore, Jeff Chadwick. That's a throwback name. But the Lions have been pretty lucky over the decades. They've had some pretty decent wide receivers. Calvin Johnson, you need to put in there too. Golden Tate, along with the current guys. See, Johnny, good morning. Go Lions, 100%. Johnny, hopefully having a great day, my friend. See, Dennis, good morning. Back at you. Dwayne, DST, we had the perfect receiver in Calvin Johnson. Yes, you talk about hard to ever improve upon. He's probably on that list. See, Derek, I read an article that said Brad Holmes failed for the second year in a row to secure a solid pass rusher to play opposite Hutchinson. What do you think? I think we're fine there because, again, I know we talked about it a little bit this week, but you look at what the Lions want out of that opposite end than Hutchinson. The Lions run a hybrid 4-3 defense, which basically is more like a 3-4 defense. And what they want that front line to do opposite Hutchinson and how they want them to play the lanes to help stop or mitigate the rush. We want guys to go out there and get 50 sacks. I get that. I know I would put James Houston over there because I do want that other end to get the sacks. But the Lions seem to be scheming more and more this year. They want the first three guys opposite Hutch, the both defensive tackles, and the opposite end to set the edges, basically compress it so no mobile quarterback can go up the middle, but same with the running backs. They want to force everything out wide into the linebackers, the secondary that's blitzing, etc. So that's why I think, I get what they're doing. I know I would do it differently. That's also why I think Levi's got a chance to be a starter. Broderick Martin, if he really blew the cover off the ball, would. Marcus Davenport over James Houston makes more sense in that scenario. Now, maybe they pull a fastball on us or whatever and switch it up to where that's not the case. That's where I think maybe a more traditional pass rushing end would come into play versus what we're probably going to do this year, in my opinion. All right, JDC, tick, goosebump time. Yeah, we're getting close, man, getting close. Johnny V, spike the blue Kool-Aid with touchdown spikes. There we go. Oh, yeah. Don Burr, putting fail with the Brad Holmes name is a crime in itself. It happens, man. It happens. See, Johnny, what do you got? How much does Gibbs contribute to the passing game this year? He finished with around 315 yards receiving. How many yards receiving this year? I think he'll have a chance for 500 to 600 yards receiving because I do think he's going to be very utilized. I think he's going to be flexed out or motioned out into the slot, maybe even the X receiver a lot, so out wide towards the sideline because he causes problems. If you're going to play man-to-man on him and you're going to put, let's just say, a linebacker or a safety on him, I would flex him out or motion him out to the sideline to the X receiver a lot to have him run some drag routes, because that dude, unless he's getting help, has got no chance to guard him. And basically that just becomes a handoff. He's running, behind the defensive line. Just flip it to him, let him catch it in space. And again, if that linebacker, safety, or whoever is on him doesn't have help, he's gone. I mean, he's going to get 5, 6, 10 yards or whatever or more, because if he makes the next guy miss, now everybody's in scramble mode to leave their guy. And if their guy's blocking, it just becomes a problem. And again, that's in man-to-man or whatever. Zone coverage would be a little bit different. Let's see. Anthony, Jamo, 1,100 yards receiving, 11 touchdowns, 400 yards on the ground. Or, yeah, Jamo, yeah, that'd be a pretty good season. 1,500 yards total. That would be an awesome season. The Trim Reaper, good morning, Coach and Dew Crew. Woo! Good morning to you too, my friend. Gary, great salutations, Coach and Dew Crew. If Jameson Williams has that kind of season, we could be seeing the second coming of the greatest show on turf. I think great minds think alike. That's exactly where I'm going with it, because you look at how that team was constructed. You look at how we're constructed, offensively at least. There's a whole lot of similarities there. JDC, the Trim Reaper, morning fellow Youper. There we go. Hey, got to have fans from all over, and thank you for that. Yeah, I'll be heading up to Detour Village in about 3 weeks here, right around there. So, Dennis, don't sleep on Raven. No, I think he's going to have a sneaky good season this year. That's my personal opinion. Shamir, what do you got? Did you see St. Brown and Gibbs bet on the rushing and receiving yards for Gibbs? I heard about it. I didn't see what the bet was. So if anybody knows the information, go ahead and throw that over in the comment section. I don't know off the top of my head what it is. Let's see. Dennis, yes, I'll go with that. Don, what about the promise not bet between Brown and Gibbs? St. Brown, excuse me, said that if Gibbs gets 1,000 yards rushing, 1,000 yards receiving, he'd buy Gibbs whatever he wants. Gibbs said he's going to break him and get a house. There we go. He could probably get a pretty good house, too. So, all right, Trim Reaper, J-Mo is so fast, he makes fast people not look so fast. Yes, he does, man. He's got gears most people on planet Earth do not have. All right, the Trim Reaper, smash that like button. Woo! Thank you for that. Thank you very much for that. Johnny V, the roar is restored. You have to believe, man. You have to believe this is the year we're going to the championship. See, Miles Barker, I want J-Mo to make the third quarter the strongest yet. I'm really hoping that they address that issue in this offseason to fix the third quarter. I don't care what you got to do, but you got to go out and you got to play 100% of the game, not 75% of the game. See, Motown, I can prove you wrong, Don Burr. Brad Holmes is a bust at being a bust. All right, bust. All right, there we go. There we go. He is a bust at being a bust. See, Don, Motown, don't make a fool out of yourself this early. All right, well, okay. See, the Trim Reaper, have a great day, y'all. Woo! You too, Trim. Have a great day, my friend. See, Motown, it's true. Can't argue facts. Holmes bust at being a bust. He's just can't do it. Yes, he's good all around. He doesn't miss on anything. I see what you're doing there. See, Don, nice Motown, laughing out loud. See, Miles Margaret, the Trim Reaper, you too. Don, I'm making a few signs for the defense for the Rams game that read, welcome to Hitsville. All right, I'll go with that. Silver Surfer, I don't know if it's going to be read in case I'll repost tomorrow, but I have to say that by far the most iconic sound effect of this show is Dan Skipper's woo, simply amazing. Yeah, Skip's woo it's unique, man. It's different, isn't it? But you know what? For him, it works. We'll put it that way. JC, Lions denying zone. There we go. It would be. Let's see, Moonscar. Would be awesome to see you with those signs on TV at Don Bird. Yes, go with that. Get yourself on TV. See, JDC, yep, Lions Talk Live signs at the games. Hey, nothing wrong with that, and I'll take all the free publicity you can throw this way. See, Don, welcome to Hitsville, Stafford. I got to imagine, especially if that line is busted up by the start of the regular season and they haven't had time to gel, man, I'd be sending the house after Stafford on every play. He's going to hit some shots against you. I get it. But I'd be putting him on his back and looking up at Ford Field ceiling as often as I could. See, JDC showed the grit. Hey, I'll go with that. Manberg, hey, haven't seen you in a minute, man. Good to see you, my friend. How are you doing today, friends? Pretty good. Hopefully you are as well. Mootscar, good morning, Manbear Pig. All right, there you go. See, Miles Barger, hey, Manbear Pig, how you been? There you go. Buddy, is that Jen with Sheila saying she loves Lions Talk Live? No, that is Sheila's voice, but built from lots of different things she said. So basically in a nutshell, found a time she said Lions, found another time she said talk, found another time she said live. And obviously the woo, already did fine. So, and just constructed it from there. Took a little time, but hey, had a little fun making it. Let's see, Hookadoo, hey man, we'll go with that. Bo, Buddy, Coach, Buddy K, Coach, explain how he made that bit. Yeah, explain. Yeah, now you know again. Now you know. See, Manberg, hey, Moon and Mile, I trust the day is finding you well. Yeah, hopefully it finds everybody well. Bo, use Sheila's actually, yeah, and it takes a while. It doesn't fully sound right, but it's close enough for a 2-second bit. It's totally fine. And I wasn't going to put a couple weeks into making it sound better, but hopefully it works for everybody. All right, Hookadoo, hey man, Bear, it's been a bit. Go Lions, agreed with that. Couple more here and then about out of here. Don Jack Campbell takes a jump. Levi takes a jump. J-Mo takes a jump. Pascal takes a jump. That's a lot of people jumping. I'm down with it. Jump around. See, man Bear. Hello, Hookie. There you go. Matthew, Monty, 1,000 yards. Gibbs, 1,000 yards. Gibbs, 1,000 yards. Gibbs again, 1,000 yards receiving. St. Brown, 1,000. Laporta, 1,000. J-Mo, 1,000. That's 6,000 yards with the main players. Yeah, not to mention anybody else coming off the bench, right? See, Mojo, good morning, Duke Crew and Dan. Been a Lions fan for 50 years and still not sure about the Lions this year. Something always seems to happen to the team. I want to see the first game win big. I'll go with that. Get that first game of the season, get the win, keep the momentum going. I've got us going 8-0 before we lose a game. So wait and see if that holds true. And Brian, Carolina will be the worst team. That could be indeed. See, Moonscar, I'm going with the Patriots as the worst team. Man, could it be? But yeah, I mean, it's totally possible. I'd see Dennis, Minnesota for me. Moonscar, Don Bird, not sure about Pascal taking a jump. I've heard he has not been impressive in training camp. Well, hey, that's what the games are for, man. Get out there and prove your worth. Trap 86, I don't believe they're going to win the Super Bowl. I believe they have to win the Super Bowl. After all the hype and money, they don't have a choice. It is indeed Super Bowl or bust. I'll go with that. Hutch Jr. says, good morning, all. Good morning to you, too. Hopefully having a great one, my friend. See, Manbear, the North may turn out to be more competitive than most are thinking. I think it's going to be, if it's not the most competitive division in the NFL, it's going to be in the top, say, two or so. I'd say Reed Fishback, what do you got? Hidden Hooker is drinking from a fire hose. Hey, I grew up in the 70s, man. I think everybody did that. See, Brian, the biggest change was hiring a Spielman, best hire ever. Yeah, that was a good move by the team for sure. Trim Reaper, watching Wingo go crazy this year. Woo! And there could be a real possibility. We talked about going with the big line between the defensive tackles and then the big end opposite Hutch. Wingo fits that to a T. That's why I do feel like they flexed them out to an end versus an interior defensive lineman. I'd see Manberg, good morning, Mike K. There you go. Matthew, see, 2011 Saints, total yards, 74 yards. 2018 Rams, 67-38. 2023 Lions, 67-12. NFL record Saints, the Rams and Lions both had Goff as their quarterback, top 25. There's not a quarterback named Stafford. Yes, Goff is good enough. I would agree with that. All right, guys, it's been a little bit over an hour. Let me see if there's anybody who hasn't been on in a bit in here, and then I'm going to get on out of here. Phil, we have not seen Reader yet. We have not. Good point there. Brian, I see the Lions running a 5-2 defense. I think there's a lot of truth to that. A lot of truth. Either that or like some sort of hybrid scheme where they are blitzing the backers more. I think you're going to see Barnes used a lot. Jack Campbell they used last year. That could continue. And then, of course, the secondary blitzes. Trims, what do you got? Let's go, Lions. Woo! Johnny V. Johnny has the fever for the Detroit Lions football. We'll go with that. Moonscar, enjoy your Sunday, Dan, with your family. Yep, about ready to head on out and do that. Heading to Grand Rapids today. Doug, there are several Lions who are about to break out, and isn't that going to feel sweet? Woo! We'll go with that. I think you're correct. The Trim, UPA, there we go. All right, let's see, Brian, I don't always catch you live, but I watch every video. Hi from Lapeer, Michigan. Woo! Let's go, Lions. Thank you for that. And yeah, autocorrect, it happens, man. It gets us all, man. It gets us all. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Happy trails to you all. If there is some sort of breaking news today and I'm able to get on the air, I'll get it to you. Otherwise, please consider subscribing, making that push to 7,200 subs, about 90 away. Hit the thumbs up. Enjoy your day. Go do something nice for somebody else. And we'll see you all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.
Happy trails to you until we meet again.